A strength stretched too far becomes a weakness. Well, hey there, welcome back. What do you think of my new theme? Do you love it? Or should I go back to the old standby? Let me know. Sometimes we learn lessons in life that are obvious. Sometimes we are just looking for guidance. Like we want to know how to do a thing. It seems complicated, or we've never approached a certain task. Losing weight, being successful, getting over a hurdle. We look at using a system to accomplish it. But sometimes there are things that not so much require a system, but an awareness of the way the universe works. And sometimes they seem really backwards and they're kind of frustrating. One of those things is one of the most important lessons I've learned. And it took the form of someone just casually mentioning it to me many, many years ago. Since then, I've actually incorporated that as a chapter in an upcoming book, and I did research and couldn't quite find a verifiable source that expressed it in the same way. And that is, a strength stretched too far becomes a weakness. And when you hear that, you probably don't immediately think of anything. Usually if someone says, hey, what you should do is do this. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, blah, blah, blah. And you go, okay, I guess I get it, right? You know, safety first and so forth. But that phrase probably doesn't jar anything in your memory. It probably doesn't make you go, oh yeah, definitely. I learned that lesson. Because it's sort of counterintuitive. What it simply means is that if you take something that is your strength, something you're good at, something you put all your eggs into that basket, something that you're proud of, and you push too far with it, it's no longer a strength. It's actually a weakness. And see, that runs into a part of us that says, oh no, that can't be right, because that's not what success is. That's not what excellence is all about. Excellence is striving to be better and better and better and better. And if my strength is this thing, I'm just going to make this thing better and stronger and go farther with it and do it longer and so forth. But that's exactly the danger. Let me give you a few examples that may or may not be taken directly from my life. Let's take flexibility. Let's say that you have clients and you decide that you want to make sure you're always there for them. So you become flexible, and then you become more flexible, and they respond very positively, because of course they would, right? Oh, okay. Can you switch that schedule a little bit? Can you do it at a different date? Can we make this shorter? Can we do that? I have to cancel, and so forth. But then it starts to snowball, doesn't it? Then suddenly people have no regard for your schedule or your importance or your other clients. Now suddenly your flexibility is a bad thing, because now you're so flexible that no one really thinks about your schedule, and people think you can always switch things around. And now your stress level is going higher and higher and higher, because now it's actually creeping into time, energy, and resources of going, oh, this is encroaching on resting time. I can't seem to calm down because something just might change, and so forth. So flexibility can be stretched so far it becomes a bad thing. Another example is tolerance, something that is very, hip and trendy at all times. Being tolerant of others, or being tolerant of something that you have to deal with in a relationship or in a business dealing, can be very helpful. It can be very helpful to both parties. Boy, I'm so glad you were tolerant of that. We got through that, right? But if you continue to push tolerance to the point where you will tolerate anything, well, that doesn't sound very good, does it? Of course not. It may be disheartening and a little disorienting to find that the thing that you think you're best at, the thing you're most proud of, the thing that sets you apart from everyone, is the thing that's hurting you. But here's the good news. If you find that the thing you're stretching too far, the thing that is your strength, if you find that you are stretching it too far, it doesn't mean you have to give up on it. It doesn't mean that, oh, well, I guess I won't be flexible. Oh, well, I guess I won't be tolerant. Oh, well, I guess I won't be accurate or meticulous or methodical or kind or quiet or gentle or whatever it is that is your thing that you consider to be your strength. All it takes is for you to back off from it a little bit. All it takes is for you to stop stretching it so far. So you can continue to do it. You can continue to enjoy it. You can continue to bask in this feeling of, this is my thing. I'm good at this. This is the thing that sets me apart. Just be mindful. And we'll go back to awareness, because that's what every single one of these episodes is about, is being aware first so that you can then act. Just be mindful of the fact that you could possibly stretch it too far. And then stop stretching it. And again, how do you do that? Let's go even deeper. Well, you become aware of what is considered stretching it too far. What's going over the limit? What is hurting you? And what you're going to find is that you may have caused yourself some discomfort or even personal resentment because you were stretching it too far. You may find that, oh, wow, this feels good again. Because the thing that you consider your strength may have started to feel not so great. You know, where you give that smile where you're like, I'm good at this. I enjoy this. Yeah, this is the right thing to do. Well, it'll feel a lot more like it's the right thing to do. It'll feel a lot better when you stop stretching it so far. If you've listened to many episodes of this podcast, you know I say again and again, sometimes we find things in life that require less effort and you get more. And it's like, no, that's not the way life works. You can't possibly just go, oh, I'm going to do less and get more. But this is, again, one of those ways. If you stop being so flexible and say, well, I'm flexible, but it ends here, the value of your flexibility goes up. The people that you were flexible for appreciate it even more. I can be flexible for this. That's as far as I'm going. Okay. No, I appreciate you doing that. As opposed to, oh yeah, I can go infinitely. You'll actually get more value by having less supply and demand. And you'll stop resenting yourself and that strength that you have. Because we don't want that. We need you to enjoy your strengths. You should enjoy your strengths. You should be exploring your strengths. You should be exploring new ones, and you should enjoy them. And of course, when people find a new strength, that's the first thing they do is they push and they push and they push and they see just how far they can go. And just to be clear, pushing a strength too far, stretching it too far is not the same as pushing it really hard to see just how good you can get at it. We're not talking about things like, I'm going to swim a lot more to see if I can get better at swimming, which you will, which again is something I'm covering in this next book. I'm talking about pushing something so far that, well, you heard this podcast, you get it. I don't need to repeat that. So please think about the strengths in your life. And maybe think about your strengths in general. Maybe that's a good thing to start with. Think about what you think is your strength. Then think about how far you're pushing that strength. Could you be pushing it more? Why don't you? Did you already come to the same conclusion that you should have come to in this podcast? Are you ahead of me? Did you say, oh yeah, I know I'm good at that, but I got to be careful. I know that this is my strength, but I got to be careful. People who are really successful have learned that limit. People who are successful and then burn out and then go away, or people that never really are successful don't learn that limit. Thank you for listening. And again, let me know if you enjoy the music changes I have made. You take care of yourself. Till next time.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate a like, share, or subscribe. Feel free to reach out and better days.
Not okay, all I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.